Hello, everybody, and welcome to the launch of the brand new GEG New England. My name is Jeff Bradbury, and over the next half an hour, me and some amazing educators from the New England area are going to be sharing you some of the great things happening in Google Education, sharing you our tips and tricks, and we want to hear from you guys. We are broadcasting live on Facebook. We're broadcasting live on YouTube, Periscope. We want to invite you guys to share out everybody. I want to introduce my panel. Can I get a big hello from my panel today? Woohoo!
Hello!
It is so great to see everybody. And of course, please interact with us tonight on Facebook, on YouTube, wherever you guys are. And I am so excited to be a part of this group. I want to introduce our co-host tonight and the founders of Google Educator Group New England. I want to start with Miss Jen Judkins. Why don't you introduce yourself and invite everybody on the panel, Jen, to introduce themselves as well. Go ahead, Jen.
Hey everybody, I'm Jen Judkins from Woburn Public Schools in Massachusetts, and I'm really excited to launch GEG New England as a way for us to connect with other educators in our area and beyond. So welcome tonight, and let's see who else is on with us. Jeff?
Hi everyone, my name is Jolie Boucher. I am a technology integration specialist and literacy and information technology teacher in Plymouth Public Schools in Massachusetts, and I'm so excited to be here. I'm going to switch it over to Eric Lawson from Maine.
Hey everybody, I'm Eric Lawson. I'm the Director of Technology and Libraries for the York School Department in the southern part of the state. We just had our 2-hour internet shutdown, so hopefully we are good for the rest of the night, and I know I have some other Maine peeps in here, so great to hear from everybody.
Hey everybody, I'm Christina DiMaselli. I'm a technology integration specialist and I work at Pinkerton Academy in New Hampshire. So I'm representing NH. So excited to see everybody here. The chat is going. Hello to everybody. We've got a really cool launch for you, and this is just the start of a lot of great stuff to come. So welcome, bring your friends, and we'll have a good time.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jen Thomas. I am an instructional technology specialist at Dartmouth Public Schools in Massachusetts. Although I'm here representing my state of Rhode Island, the fabulous Ocean State. I just saw somebody from Cranston saying, hi, hello, Peter. So I'm super excited to be representing Rhode Island and this great group of educators, and I can't wait to meet all of you.
And of course, we want to say thank you guys for being out here. We have a great group of people, but a GEG does not happen alone. It takes you. That's right. You guys out there, the hundreds of people that are going to be watching us live tonight and participating in all of our great stuff. We have amazing people here on the program, but next month we would love to have you guys out there. Make sure that you guys are checking out all the great stuff. We have a fantastic new website, and we're going to be learning all about how you guys can participate. And I want to introduce some of my good friends here to talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing tonight. Jolie, why don't you start with sharing what GEG New England can do for you?
Well, I would be very happy to, Jeff. So what can GEG New England do for you? Well, we're hoping to provide you with a very supportive community of Google using educators. So anyone can join. You do not need to be from New England, but hopefully when we can do some on-site activities, we can kind of branch out and have some local state-to-state events. We also hope to provide you with many free professional learning opportunities. So keep your eyes open. And if you are interested in presenting, please feel free to reach out. We would love to have you. We're hoping to lead 2 virtual events at the minimum. So we will have our monthly meeting, which will be the first week of every month. And we also will be having a Ask the Tech Coach with Jeff Bradbury collaboration with GEG New England. So we'll have various topics every month, and we're really excited for this collaboration, and it's going to be amazing. So keep your eyes posted and look out. Jen, do you want to take it over from here?
Yeah, absolutely. So as Jolie mentioned, we're going to have opportunities for people to present. There is already a link on our website. So our website, remember, is www.gegnewengland.com. And that website has an opportunity for you to click to suggest topics and possibly even present. If you would be interested in doing that, we would love to reach out to you because we know that there's a really amazing community of educators, and If you're willing to share something that you know with the group, that would be very appreciated by everyone. We'd love to pull you into the rotation for our monthly coach sessions or special events as you're available. And then we will be branching out into other social media sources, so stay tuned for that. Right now we are, as I said, available on our website, and you will also be receiving, if you haven't already, a monthly newsletter from us. Jeff can pull that up on the screen so we can show that to you, but our monthly newsletter will be comprised of different sections, including updates so that you know what the latest is from Google over the past month. It can be hard to keep up with all of the changes, and we'll pull the ones that are probably most relevant to those of us that are using Google as educators. So we curate those and link for you additional information. You'll also see our events, and we'll be talking about resources that we have started to compile already this month and hope to continue to add to a growing list of resources for educators across our organization. So looking forward to sharing that with you tonight as well.
Now, Jen, that's not the only place that we can look. I want you to talk about the great things that we're doing here on the GEG website. What can people expect from this amazing experience? The website looks awesome, Jen.
Thanks. Well, it was great to be able to design it with Google Sites and help people to see some of the potential with sites. We have on our website, we have a few sections: events, newsletters, and resources. So in the events tab, you'll be able to see what are the upcoming events. You can even copy the link to the calendar if you'd like to have the calendar reflected in your Google Calendar as well. And you'll notice to the right of that calendar is where you can submit to suggest an event. And again, we are actively looking for presenters to schedule over time to share out with the rest of the members of the group. You'll also see there's a tab for our newsletter, the first one of which just released, I think on Saturday, right, Jolie? I think we sent it out just this weekend. And so if you missed that, you can access the newsletters over time. Will be in the newsletter category of our website. And the one we just launched is available there. And then finally, we have a resources tab that we'll touch on at the end of the presentation. But the resources tab is where we hope to curate useful resources, whether it be lesson plans or tutorial videos, those types of things, templates. So we're going to review more about that towards the end of our presentation and share with you what it is that we've kind of seeded the resources with to start off the month.
Now, Jen, of course, there's a lot of great things happening here in the world of Google, but before we get into the majority of our presentations here, I know that this is the time of year where tech coaches and teachers and administrators are trying to figure out how do we end the year on a good foot. Now, many teachers out there, and let us know in the comments where you are on this. Our students are coming back into the class. Teachers are still hybrid. We're still trying to figure things out. Let me ask you guys here. We'll kind of do a little round robin. What does teaching look like for you in your district? Jolie, let me start with you. What does education look like where you are?
Well, I feel like teachers wear many different hats these days in the classroom. And I think we have to be flexible and have a lot of grace and patience in the classroom. And right now we are fully back to school. So we are back to school 5 days a week. We had the hybrid model, and we're really excited to have all the students back into the school buildings. And we're doing a lot of fabulous things with students and just getting our routines established now that we have everybody back into the buildings.
And Eric, what does it look like up in Maine when there's internet?
Yeah, exactly. When there's internet. So luckily, our two elementary schools, K-4, have been in person 5 days a week since September. Our middle school, high school is still doing the 2-1-2 model. And of course, we have a couple at each grade level, K-5-ish, that are in the remote model. So internet's big when we need it up here, for sure.
Jen, what about you?
So we just returned our elementary students today in full in person. We were, prior to today, we had been coming in hybrid, kind of like Eric described, a 2-1-2 model for hybrid. We're excited to have our little ones back with us full time. It has been a year of changes for all of us. And I feel like just when we get one thing down, we're moving on to the next thing. And we'll be bringing our middle and high school students back full-time, 5 days a week after the April break. For us is the 26th. And so I just feel like this community of educators is just so much more important as we look at trying to take from the lessons that we learned over this past year and see what we can do to continue to encourage educators to use technology in a thoughtful way. Now that we have so many more people that have dipped their toes into the technology pool, really wanting to make sure that we can provide some ongoing support to those educators and hoping that this group can be a place for that.
We want to know what you guys are thinking out there. We've got some great people talking here on our chat. We have Julie here who says some of the kids are still remote learning, but they're still doing hybrid. Christina, what does it look like where you are?
So New Hampshire and the high school that I'm at, we have done probably just about every model that there is over the past year plus, but we're just moving out of hybrid. And last week started phasing the kids back, and this week we were full in 5 days. Everybody on campus is what we're moving to. The kids still have the option to be remote, but we're finding that probably 70% plus have come back, and we expect that probably to go up as the time goes on and the kids are ready to step back onto campus. So it's exciting. The kids are there, and we're a big school, so it's nice to see everybody starting to move around again.
Jen, how about yourself?
So we have been, with the exception of the first month of school and 2 weeks after Christmas, we have been hybrid pretty straight through. There's talk of the middle school in my district starting back the week after April vacation, but it's still unclear what that means for the high school, where to go back full in would be logistically, it'd be really difficult right now. A lot of our desks got transported down to the lower grades because they had tables that they worked at. So we're short several hundred desks. So we're not entirely sure the logistics and how all of that's going to work out. But it's been fine. You know, it's hard because it's just hard to, it's been a year. Like, it's just been hard to, we have an AB schedule, and it's like AB and then BA every other week. So the schedule's been really challenging for the students. The schedule's been really challenging for the teachers. So I think once we get to the point where it's safe to return, teachers are going to be grateful. But I also think that they are going to, I've heard a lot of like really great success stories about, you know, the ways that they'll never go back to teaching the way that they did before the pandemic. So I think a lot of good has really come out of a kind of a bummer situation. I have teachers doing things that they never would have imagined themselves doing even, you know, a year ago or 6 months ago. So I think there's a lot of good that has come out of it. At least I'm trying to stay focused on that positive. So
it is certainly nice to see people. We've been flashing up some of the great comments coming into us from Facebook, from YouTube. Please take a moment and share this with everybody. We're going to be here live a couple times a month doing some great stuff. And now we're going to transition to a topic that everybody's thinking about. How can we use Google Apps to stay organized? How do we do some spring cleaning? It is that time again. Spring cleaning time. Here we go. And so let's start talking a little bit about this. We here at Google Educator Group New England are going to be working hard for you every single month to provide for you guys not just some of the basic tips and tricks, but some really neat and innovative ways for you to help out your teachers, how you can help out your students. And today we've got a couple different ideas for you guys on spring cleaning, ways that you can make sure that Google is out there helping you out. Let's start with our first tip and trick. Mr. Eric, talk to us a little bit about one of your spring cleaning tips.
Yeah, so one of my tips has always been to make sure you clean out your downloads folder, and this doesn't matter what device you're on, but certainly on the Chromebook with a less of a hard drive space, you need to look at that more often than not. I've found that this little trick, when you download PDF files or what have you, if you pin the file, it kind of gives you kind of like what I used to remember on the desktop on my Mac. So as I'm working on certain projects, I take a look at those few, and then I remember, all right, project's done, time to get rid of everything in the downloads folder and organize it up again for spring.
Nice. Very, very nice. Very easy. And by the way, if you guys have any great tips, please do us a favor. Put them in the comments. We want to share. What is your favorite spring cleaning tip? We're going to go to number 2 here. I want to bring up Christina.
Okay, so this one is one that I don't think is talked about very often because usually in Google Drive, we know that we can organize our folders by color. We can use emojis. We can do different things like that. But anytime you have a little bit of an extra organization oomph, that's a good thing. So this is the one when you're looking at your Google Drive screen and you look way over to the right in the top right navigation, you see that little eye. That's for information. Click on it. It view details. One of the things that you can do on those 2 tabs, there's a details and an activity. Explore those. They're pretty cool. But on the details one, down at the bottom, you'll see you can add a description. You could write in there a sentence about what that file is to you or what that folder is to you. And that will stick with that. And every time you go and look at this information, it will be there. The other bonus is this makes the item more easily searchable too. So if you have keywords, kind of, hacking your own hashtags for things or tagging things, this is the place to do it.
We've got some great tips and tricks coming up. Neil over here is mentioning that his tip is to delete all the text in your bookmark names so you are left with just an icon. I love that tip. That's one of those things that I do. Some of my bookmarks are they have the long names. Some of them I just have initials. Sometimes I have the same icon a couple times. I've got a couple Google Docs. Don't forget, you can always hover over those icons and you can have the little alt tags in there. But that's not all the great tips. Jolie, you've got something for us, don't you?
I do. And I do love your tip, Neil. I recently just transformed on my bookmark bar to just have emojis and icons. I love it. So thank you for sharing that. So my tip is to organize your tabs into groups. So this rolled out a few months ago for most domains. I'd say for all domains. But if you right click on a tab, you can then select a color and you can add a title for the group. And then you can even add emojis. So I right click right in the title and I can add all the different emojis. So in this example, I have a little laptop computer there. And then you can just right click on all the rest of the tabs and add tabs into different groups. So you could right click on one tab and add it to GEG New England. You could right click on another tab, add it into your math group or your reading group. So it's another way to bookmark all your tabs and condense them and expand them. So if you click on the name of the group, it will expand and you can see all the tabs in that group. And then you can condense them when you're done. So I love using the group feature in Chrome, and it really helps me stay organized. And I think it's really visually appealing too. So check it out if you have time.
And we have a lot of people here checking out this stuff. Let's see. We just had one that popped up. Here you go. Blake says his favorite is to click the box next to an email from a particular person or vendor and then right click and bring up all the emails of them so you can do those bulk deletes. I love those little Gmail tips. And you know what? Anything that you guys have, please let us know that we're here. I recently had somebody come up to me and said, "Hey, Jeff, do you have any great Google Drive tips?" And you know what I said? I said, let me ask Jennifer Thomas.
Oh, good one. Okay. So my little spring cleaning tip is to utilize the workspace feature in Google Drive. So this just makes life a little bit easier when you know that you have a set of docs to be using, and you can group them by project if you're working on something collaboratively. So you can create a workspace and then drag whichever files you need to be able to easily access as a group. So I usually have like current week. These are all the files I need to easily access because I've got a project going on, or these are my to-do items. If I'm working on a project with the teacher, I'll put all of the assignment, the rubric, all of the things that would typically be posted on Google Classroom, for example. And then instead of going into Classroom and clicking on all the separate assignments, I could just have all the docs that the students are going to be needing to access for the project just in my workspace. So that has really helped clean things up. Drive can get a little wonky sometimes, and it's hard to I have a really hard time staying on top of my organization. So the workspaces is a really nice feature, and you can archive workspaces and you can delete them too. So that's my tip for you guys.
Very, very cool. And, you know, one of the things that we're going to be working on this month, and we'll talk a little bit about it in a few seconds here, is Google Keep. It's been our focus. If you are subscribed to our GEG New England channel, every single week we are blasting out 3 or 4 brand new videos all about Google Keep. My favorite co-host in the world, Susan Vincent, is here to say, don't forget about the Google Keep extension within Gmail. And somebody who's going to be talking to us a little bit about Google Keep right now is Miss Jennifer Judkins. Jen, you're a little fan of Google Keep. Tell us a little bit about your tip for the week here. Jen's going to come off of mute. She wins the prize.
I knew it had to happen at one point tonight, Jeff, so glad I could help. So yeah, well, Jen just mentioned the importance of archiving and how when you archive contents and other Google applications, they are still retrievable in search, and that's no different than when you archive in Gmail and Keep Notes. So archiving is a function that's available across Google platforms, and when you select the item, whether it's Gmail or Keep Notes, you'll have a little image that lets you archive it looks like a little box with an arrow pointing down, and that lets you archive or get that out of your view, whether it's your inbox or in Google Keep, your sort of Keep dashboard. And yet this is all still searchable. And so one of the things that I wanted to mention related to this and email first is that when you're looking at your email settings, there is a button that many people don't realize they can turn on called Show Send an Archive Button in Reply. And what that means is that when I reply to people's messages, instead of just hitting the send button and then having to go through a second step of archiving the conversation, I can send and archive my response at the same time. And that means that if someone replies to me, I get the whole thread back, but it also sort of completes the process, since typically when I respond, I'm done with that thread at the time. So I really like that send and archive button and wanted to make sure people were aware of that and possibly turning that on. And as we said with Google Keep, you can archive notes as well, and they're still retrievable from the search. We have a lot of Keep tips this month. And Jeff, you want to share with them the next slide where we can show them how we've cataloged these resources. So great, on our website, you'll be able to see that there's a resources tab, and you'll see that that will take you to what is a really cool Data Studio interface. And that Data Studio interface, thanks Jolie for creating that for our team, has the Google Keep videos listed and a short description and the link to the videos. You'll be able to sort by different topics. And over time, we're going to continue to add to this resource database. And we encourage you to submit resources to us as well, because we'd like to have a rich collection of resources to share with other people. And as Jeff said, the videos that we produced as a team will be launching over the course of the month. So you can look forward to those. If you choose to subscribe to our YouTube channel, you'll get notifications when those come available.
Now, we're going to be launching our YouTube channel this week. And of course, you know, one of the reasons why we're doing everything over here on the TeacherCast side is because when you're a new YouTube channel, you don't have all of the great features that you see on many of the channels. So in the chat box, we just put the link to this brand new Google channel. What we want you guys to do is very simple. Hit the subscribe button on the GEG New England Google group and let us know. You'll notice over here, not only do we have a lot of great stuff, but we also have videos for the next month all about Google Keep. About 30 videos are going to be popping out over the next month or so. And each month we're going to be featuring a great Google app or a great Google trick. And we're going to be sharing it with you guys for one reason and one reason only. We want you guys to be sharing that with your teachers. We want to make sure that we're creating some amazing content And after all, that's why Google Educator groups exist. I've been a part of a Google Educator group for a few different years, back in New Jersey, in Connecticut, and now in New England. But Jen, I want to ask you a question. What does being part of a Google Educator group mean to you? Jennifer Judkins.
So I really appreciate the ability to connect with people that I know are utilizing Google Apps in an education environment. So I feel like I've already filtered down the audience of people that have some of the same challenges and successes that I've been able to have, and others in my school district. I am really fortunate to have a great team of people in my district, but I always appreciate hearing from people outside of the district, even during our call today, not surprisingly. I got new information. Blake's tip about the Gmail piece was something I did not know. And so I just love that, just kind of surrounding myself with people that I know I'm going to learn something from. And hopefully we'll be able to have some in-person events soon in these various states, possibly connected to conferences and other things that we're going to be present in. All of us are frequently at different conferences and things. It'll be great to have some in-person meetups at events so that we can see each other in person soon, hopefully.
Now, we have a few things going on to wrap up this great first event, this launching event. I believe somebody in the chat mentioned something about swag. Guys, do we have any swag in this group? Is there anything that we want to kind of wrap up and talk about? Or do we just want to go, like, it's getting late, right? Like the internet might shut down again for some of us. Do we want to talk about anything? Does anybody have anything to say before we wrap up tonight? Nothing at all. Okay. Anybody? Save me.
Well, I think we were fortunate enough to get some Google swag sent to us by Sam Cannon Kaplan, who is a representative that serves New England larger school districts. I participated in a presentation recently at the CTO Clinic, which is part of the Massachusetts Tech Director Organization. And they provided us with some water bottles and pens and notebooks and screen cleaners, all like Google labeled stuff. And I would love to give this away to a couple of the people on the call tonight. So if you guys on the call could fill out the Google form link, then what we'll do is we'll throw that into a random name generator, and then we'll be able to reach out and get your mailing address and send you some of that stuff.
That is a pretty awesome deal. Where can people go to find that link, Miss Judkins?
So I put it in the chat on the YouTube channel, Jeff. Let me know if there's a better way for me to do this, because I know you're streaming on a couple of other locations.
We're going to put everything
in the chat again.
We're going to put everything in there. I'm also putting in, I know this is going to get confusing, guys, but we're going to also be putting in right now the bit.ly to join up. Some of these links you might have to copy and paste into a browser, but that's the way that YouTube sometimes works. So there's a lot of great stuff in there. Can somebody take us through the calendar and tell us what we're looking forward to in the next 30 days or so? We're celebrating Star Wars, I see here on the slide.
So April 26th, we'll have our first Ask the Tech Coach event with Jeff Bradbury. And then on May 4th, yes, applause. And then May 4th, we'll have our next monthly meeting. So we may throw in a few more events on the fly as things come up and as we get excited about new updates or anything else that might catch our eye. So keep your eyes and ears open and ready to get some new information. And once again, if you have something you'd like to share or you would like to present, please feel free to reach out to us at bit.ly/join GEGNE.
And of course, don't forget to check out all the great stuff over on the website. We've got a lot of great things, and we are just getting started. So don't forget to fill out that form. And guys, we're going to do a little round robin here. Any tips, tricks, advice, things, last minute thoughts here as we go through here and we wrap this up? I'm going to start by putting people on the spot. Christina.
At first, yes. I guess what I would say is don't get overwhelmed. No matter where I am in time, I always know that I'm a beginner at something, and I'm always reaching for that expert role. So come along on the walk with us, and we'll find some really good stuff for you.
I'm just going to say, use your Keep extension. Use a quick pro tip to take one note and then set a time reminder for the future. And that way it's out of sight, out of mind, but you get the reminder when you need it best.
I'm going to just remind everybody that PLNs are so important. And I'm just glad everybody's here. The only way that I could have done any of what I've done in my career wouldn't have happened without a group of people, a huge group of people from many different jobs and many different positions and different parts of the world. So I just am so grateful to be a part of another group of such dedicated, passionate educators. And look at you guys here at 9:00 at night on a Monday after a holiday during a pandemic. So that's dedication. So I'm just so glad and grateful and humbled to be part of something that's this exciting.
Me too, Jen. I couldn't have said it better. I am so excited to be part of this new GEG New England. I want to thank everybody so much for coming out, especially after this long weekend. And I'm sure many of you started your first full week back with students. So thank you so much for coming out. And for those Google Sheets enthusiasts out there, definitely check out Data Studio. I'm totally obsessed with it right now. It's such a fabulous way to curate and share information and analyze and sort data.
We want to say thank you to everybody coming out there, but first, let's shift it over to Miss Jen Junkins.
I just really appreciate everyone being here tonight. As has been said, I am really fortunate to have such a great team of people that want to share out and bring as many people together as we can to, just continue to pass along information that just helps us to work a little bit better for the benefit of our students and for ourselves professionally to have, some things that allow us to be more proficient. I just really appreciate the time that people are taking and hope that everyone was able to take away at least one new thing that will help you as you continue to conquer the world tomorrow in school.
We have a fantastic Google Educator Group New England. We started off with one educator from every state in the New England area, but this is just the beginning. We want to hear from you guys. We want to have you guys join our group. Don't forget to check out all the great stuff happening over on the website. And of course, make sure that you're checking out Google Educator Group New England at gegnewengland.com. And everybody here on the panel says, thank you guys for checking it out. We've had over 60 people watching live here. And I want to say thank you to the panel and thank you to you guys. It has been absolutely awesome. Yay! And of course, thank you everybody out there who's been following on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, and all of that stuff. Please help us share that out there. And as we say at the end of all of our shows, thank you for being here. And on behalf of everybody here at GEG New England, keep up the great work in your classrooms, guys, and continue sharing your passions with your students.